everyone, thanks for joining us today on Cooking with Shotgun Red, and I'm Sheila.
And I'm Jennifer.
And today we have a recipe that both of us love.
Yeah, I grew up with this, and I remember my mom making it, and I just love
I love that.
Stuffed cabbage, and it's really delicious, and it's one of those comfort food things again.
We're for comfort all the way.
We like that comfort food, and we like easy food. So.
Easy. You know me, I like easy.
I know.
I am so easy.
But we enjoy this, and so we're going to do this recipe for you today. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to have your head of cabbage, and you're going to want to flip that over and cut the heart out, which is this section right in here. And so we'll cut that out. Okay, so once you get that heart cut out, you just set that aside, and you might have a couple of these that pop off there. And you can always just put that in the water with it. The first thing we're going to do is put this in our boiling water that we already have on the stove and get this boiling. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get all these layers cooked. So what you want to do is you're going to want to put this face down in the water, and you can either use a fork to put it in there, or so you don't hurt yourself or get splashed, and just put that face down. Maybe use something else to get it off there with, unless you've got the right kind of utensils to get it in there. And you're going to want that to cook for about 10 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer, just depending. I've already got this water heated up, and we put it down to low. And we're going to let that cook and then start peeling the layers. As this starts to boil, you'll see that these leaves will just start peeling off. Now you can take this off and separate them with a fork, or you can do it like this. Sometimes it's got to cook a little bit more. And as each layer starts to peel, I just peel them off and set them aside on the pan. So they're nice and pliable, and we can start making our roll-ups with them. So what you can do, you can see this starts to peel off real easy. And you can just take a fork and just kind of separate it. And if all the layers aren't cooked, you can always put this back in the hot water again. But and then these should just start peeling off, and then we'll separate these and let them cool off a little bit before we start rolling them up. So in a skillet on medium heat, we're going to add some olive oil, and we're going to take our onion. This is about 1 medium onion chopped up, and we just want to saute these up just a little bit, get them a little brown, and let that cook for just a little bit.
I like the smell of cooked onions and mushrooms.
Onions make everything taste really good too.
It does.
I mean, and also our next ingredient, garlic. We're going to add some minced garlic to this, and I don't want to put it in too soon because I don't want the garlic to burn. So I'm going to add a little tablespoon of butter in here, and it doesn't take very long for these onions to get sauteed up. They start getting translucent. Look, one's flying, Sheila.
Oh, I can eat that one later.
Doesn't take very long for these to get translucent, and you'll start to see them just kind of soften up enough. I'm going to put a tablespoon and a half of minced garlic. I love garlic.
Garlic is really good for you.
It is really good for you. That's sauteed up. We're going to go ahead and add 1.5 cups of our mushrooms. Now, mushrooms, they're going to shrink up on you, and they're not going to take very long to cook. So we're just going to get them just a little bit cooked down, and then we're going to add this into our stuffing that we're getting ready to make. We'll let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes here till they cook down, and take them off.
Now we're ready to do our filling, and now we're going to do the hamburger meat.
We've got a pound of lean ground beef here. We're going to put that in.
Yep, there we are.
And we've got some rice, and this is about 3/4 cup of uncooked rice. We're going to put that in there. And we've got about a cup of tomato puree, and so that's not quite, this is a 15-ounce can, so I'm just going to put about a cup of that in there. And puree is just a little bit thicker than your typical tomato sauce, because I'm going to use the rest of this for the topping.
And
we've got a tablespoon of Sheila's favorite word, Worcestershire sauce.
I hate that word.
The W sauce, as she calls it.
Yep,
We're going to put that in there.
In this little bowl, we have a teaspoon and a half of salt
Uh-huh.
and some garlic powder.
Garlic powder, about a teaspoon.
Yeah, about a teaspoon.
And we've got about a teaspoon of pepper, right?
Right.
Okay, and we're just going to mix all that together and put that in our filling here.
There you go.
And then we've got 3 teaspoons of fresh chopped parsley. And I've already got these measured out, so we'll put that in there. And then we're going to get our onions and our mushrooms and garlics that we just sauteed up. I'm just going to put all that right on in there. Doesn't that look good?
Yes, I can't wait till we get through this because I've always liked cabbage. Whether it's slaw, whether it's cooked cabbage, whether it's boiled
Just
cabbage.
Just bring me some cabbage.
Yes, it's awesome.
Okay, yeah. Sheila's fixing to get messy, so we're going to
Yes.
take the bracelets off. Give me the ring, too.
Rings.
Yeah. You don't want to have a lot of jewelry on when you're getting messy and getting your fingers in there. Roll up the sleeves and get to mixing, Sheila.
Ready? Get set. One thing about this is it's not something that's really cold. It just freezes your hands or anything. It's just like warm.
Well, I've already got the meat at room temperature, so it makes it a little easier. You don't have to have it freezing cold. There's nothing worse when you're making meatloaf and your hands are freezing off because you just got it out of the refrigerator.
See what I say? Come in here, do this for me. And I start to do mixing the meat up.
Oh, yeah.
And it'd be so cold and your hands are freezing, and by the time you get through with your shaking, it's like, why didn't you do this?
Yeah, because he didn't want to. Here, honey, come help me prep. Yes. And then, here, by the way, that meat's really cold. So once you get all that mixed up, we're just going to set that bowl aside, and we're going to start getting our cabbage ready to go so we can roll this inside of it.
We just turned the oven on to 350 degrees and preheating it right now. And now that we have cabbage over here that's cooked, we're going to put it like this, and Jennifer is going to show you how to
remove the vein. Yeah, all we're going to do is, now that this is all soft and pliable, and we're just going to take it and flatten it out, and you're just going to take a sharp paring knife and you just want to cut that off so it makes it easier when you go to
the rolls.
You're rolling up of your stuff. So we're just going to set that aside and grab another one, and you just lay it flat once again, and that side, that's that little side that's sticking up right there. You just want to cut that off. And we're just going to trim that off right there.
You just cut the annoying thing off.
That annoying thing off that'll keep everything from rolling up correctly. And we'll just set that aside.
This one will be a good one.
It'll be a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've got it all ready to go, we've got our 9x13 dish here. We're going to take, what I've got in here is I've got about 3/4 of a cup of beef broth. Now you could use the water from the cabbage or beef broth. I like the beef broth, don't you?
I do. It gives it more flavor.
I think so. And the rest of that can of the puree, the tomato puree that we had, and so we just mixed that together. And so I'm going to scoop a little bit of this down along the bottom of the pan before we start, and we're going to top it as well. So get that all in there in the bottom, evened out. And also, I've got the whole bowl here, and we're going to make 12, a dozen, an even dozen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to divide this in half so we know exactly how much is going in each one and that we have enough filling to go in each one, and then we're going to divide it in half again. So I kind of have an idea that each one of these quarters is going to do 3 each.
Yeah, they have the same amount in each one.
In each one, yeah, and we won't run out of it. So, okay, so Sheila's got our cabbage roll ready to go. So I'm going to take part of my first quarter here, and we're just going to put that in there.
Then I'll roll it up here, and then bring this in on each side.
Mm-hmm.
And then roll it.
And you want to put the seam side down.
There we go.
And another one. Alrighty there.
This smells really good, and we haven't cooked it yet.
I know, it does. The aroma of this is just delicious.
Or we cooked it, we hadn't baked
We we cooked some of it, but we didn't bake it yet. Look at you roll, girl.
Yeah, I got it.
And you can tuck these any way you can into the dish. If they don't fit, you can always put a couple long ways in the middle.
now that I got these rolled up and in the pan, Jen's gonna put the rest of this sauce on top of these cabbage rolls.
Yeah, and this is the rest of that puree and the beef broth that we put on the bottom. And we're just gonna drizzle that right across the top. You know, some people like a lot of tomato sauce. Some people like just a little bit. It just depends on how, I mean, you could do more than this if you'd like to, but you know, it really just depends on your taste. And I'm gonna add, in addition to that, we've got some diced tomatoes.
Diced tomatoes, that'd be really good on top of that.
And I'm just gonna put a couple little chunks across there because I think it will add a lot of flavor. I love tomato anyway, especially in the summertime out of my garden. Didn't you guys have the garden out there, the houseboat?
Yeah, on the houseboat.
And he had a great system that he did out that his brother came up with, that grow bag system. And it was great. You guys they had these gigantic tomatoes and all kinds of
blackberries and raspberries, and then one right in front of it we had a bunch of roses that bloomed like crazy.
But the whole dock was all just a big giant vegetable garden, and he had the best vegetables come out of there. Sheila was picking forever. So we got this ready to go. We're going to put it in the oven. It's on 350 degrees still. And it's going to be about an hour and a half, and we'll be back.
We're back, and this smells so good.
Oh my gosh, it smells delicious. It was in there for an hour and a half.
Yes.
On 350 degrees, and we let it sit for about 20 minutes and rest. And we sprinkle a little bit of fresh parsley on top, and doesn't that look good?
Oh, it's really pretty when the parsley's on there.
It does. I can't wait to taste it. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna scoop out some, and you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's get Sheila some of this.
There's one. That looks really good.
Doesn't it? I'll have to cut this open and see what this looks like on the inside. You know, take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Blow, because it's hot probably still, even though we let it rest a little bit.
Oh, the reason why I make so many faces every time I take anything because it's so hot.
I know, we were laughing at Sheila's facial expressions when she's eating. All right.
Yeah, that is good.
Wow. Great flavor.
And it has cooled off. It's really good.
It has. Look, I'm going to do like you. I'm just going to bring it right up here. And just shovel it on in.
That's me.
This is great. Wow.
It is good.
You're going to like this. And you know, these are real easy to just like put in the freezer. You could freeze them up and take them out later. And if you don't feel like cooking one night, you just heat these up and you've got a meal in itself here with vegetables and everything. So we hope you try this, and we hope you enjoyed this recipe. And if you do, please follow us and please subscribe to our channel. And we're on Facebook and
Instagram,
and Twitter. And you can find all those links right below this video in the comments section. And you can also find the link to our website.
Yes, and you can go to the journal store, and we have Shotgun Red Dolls.
We have Shotgun Red Dolls. Yeah. And those are at shotgunred.com. And that link is also right below on the website. So just go right below this video and you'll see all that. Plus the recipe on how to make this. And join our free membership because we've got some exciting things coming up.
She never has anything to say.
No. As Steve would say, if this isn't the best stuffed cabbage
roll,
if it ain't, it ought to be. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Bye.
Well, that's She and Jen, them two girls having too much fun. We hope you enjoy this recipe, and we really hope you subscribe to our channel. That's easy. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in a little bit. When you click on it, it'll say subscribe, then you're subscribed. Next to it will be a little notification bell. If you click that little bell, then YouTube will send you every single one of our recipes or a notification that we posted one as soon as it comes out. See you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Is this the best? If it ain't, it ought to be.